I'm joined by Dr David Henderson of Cass Business School to talk about the concept of power. Organisations spend billions coaching and teaching their leaders about it. But David, why is this?
The primary function of leaders is to influence other people to accomplish a joint goal. And the way that we gain influence is by having power over them. So it's naturally one of the first things that companies want their leaders to learn.
So what are the different types of power leaders can hold?
Well, there are many different ways that leaders can gain power over other people. The most primitive way is through punishment. And actually, that's not the best way to get power over people. They can have legitimate power simply by the fact that they're the leader. They can say, you know, I'd like you to do this, and we listen to them because that's what we're trained to do. They can gain power through rewarding other people. They gain power through their expertise. But the most successful way to gain power is through what we call using relational power mechanisms.
What is relational power?
Well, relational power is the power that we gain over other people simply because they want to belong with us. They want to affiliate with us. They want to be a part of what we're doing because they like us. So imagine if a stranger came up to you on the street and said, "Can I borrow £5 for lunch?" Most likely you'd say, "You know what, I'm sorry, I just can't do that for you right now." Now imagine if your sister came up to you on the street and said, "Can I borrow £5 for lunch?" You'd probably say, "Yes, of course, no problem." Why? Because you have a relational bond with her, and therefore she has a lot of influence.
How important is the concept of power in the teaching of leadership?
Well, power is a critical concept in many leadership models, and in particular relational power, because it is the most effective way of influencing other people. For example, transformational leadership model is the most prominent consulting model at the present time, and that places a very strong emphasis on relational power in terms of charisma, for example. The fact that people who are charismatic, we want to affiliate with them. I can think of Barack Obama, for example, who's probably the most discussed charismatic leader of our times. There's just something about him that's a little bit different than other people, and so we want to listen to him, we want to watch him, and we even want to follow him.
So how do you maintain relational power?
It's actually quite easy to maintain that power. Just like in any other relationship, we remain committed to our followers, and we show integrity in our actions, meaning that we're honest in our actions. Going back to my example of Barack Obama, there was a story on CNN just this morning about how Europeans are falling out of love with him right now because of the Angela Merkel phone tapping scandal, where the United States is accused of spying on her cell phone. Now that's a clear example of where his promise to be transparent seems to have been a bit broken. And so the United States has lost some influence in Europe right now. Broken promises are a surefire way to have relational power diminished. For example, another political figure right now who's having a problem with this is Francois Hollande, the French president, who has the lowest approval rating in modern history because he can't figure out the tax situation in France. Martha Stewart, the most prominent businesswoman of our times, one might say, made a huge mistake when she lied about a $40,000 investment, which caused her to lose her seat on the New York Exchange Board of Directors, as well as the CEO-ship of her company. So breaking a promise can have disastrous effects on relational power.
So if a leader breaks a promise, how can she or he get that power back?
It's not that tough, actually. People want to understand why other people are engaging in the behaviors that they are. And the interesting finding in our research is once they understand, they're able to come to an acceptance and a forgiveness. So I think of Tony Hayward, for example, the CEO of BP. He made a disastrous mistake in public relations when he went away to a yacht racing event shortly after being stripped of his power to handle the oil crisis, without any explanation or apology to the public for not being there. Now, as a leadership scholar, I can ask, did he make a big mistake in doing that? Maybe not, because in times of crisis, leaders actually need some downtime. They need some rest time. The problem there was that there was no PR mechanism to explain why he was doing it and to make an apology for not being able to be there at that time. Who knows, if he just would have done that, we might have seen his face for a little bit longer.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.